Hello guys, welcome to the channel Math Ko Math with Aditya. In this video, we'll be seeing the exercise 1.3 of real numbers. So let's start. Guys, this is the question 1 of the exercise 1.3 of real numbers. So in this question, you have to prove that root 5 is irrational. So when you see such type of question where you have to prove something irrational, the first thing you are gonna to do is to assume the opposite of the thing given. If you have to prove that it is irrational, just assume that it is rational. So let root 5 be a rational number. So if root 5 is rational, you can express root 5 is equal to a divided by b, because this is what a rational number means. You can express every rational number in the form of a by b, where b is not equal to 0. A and b are integers, and a and b are co-primes too, because you cannot reduce them further as they are in the standard form. And what is a co-prime? They have only one common factor, that is 1. Okay, so when you have written this equation root 5 is equal to a divided by b, you can also mean by transposing b that root 5b is equal to a. And now you will be squaring on both the sides. You will be squaring. So on squaring, what you will get? Root 5 into root 5 is 5, and b square is b square, and a square is a square. So I've got that 5b square is equal to a square. Now let's move away from the question for a moment and understand what we are going to do now. So when you see that b and a are integers because they are rational number. Now when you have one integer that is a and other integer that is b, so when you square them, then a square is equal to 5b square. Now this b square can be written as a square divided by 5. Again, remember that they are integers and positive integers. So when you divide some integer by 5, you get another perfect square of one integer. So what does this mean? This means that a is some greater integer than b, which square when divided by 5 will give you one square that would be of integer. So here all this thing meant for a reason that a square will have 5 as its factor, because when you divide a square by 5 you get some perfect square, that is b square. So from this we have got that a square is divisible by 5. Okay, now as you have studied in theorem 1.3, if a square is divisible by some factor, then a would also be divisible by that factor. So this implies that a is also divisible by 5. So take it as line 1. Just for reference, you don't have to write it in the solution. Okay, so this means that a is divisible by 5. Also you can express that a is equal to 5 into some number that is its quotient c. So when you divide a by 5, you get some quotient c, and you get no remainder because it is exactly divisible. So now you have got this value of a that is equal to 5c, put it in this equation. So now let's see what we are going to get. We get that 5b square is equal to 5c's whole square. When you do it, open the brackets. 5b square is equal to 5 square is 25 into c square. Cancel it. 5 ones are 5, 5 fives are 25. This gives you that b square is equal to 5c square. And again you have the same situation as you had here. You have 5 with some square, and that is equal to some square. So this makes us infer that b square is divisible by 5. Again, by using theorem 1.3, we get that b is also divisible by 5. And this is our second line that we have inferred. So this would mean that a is also divisible by 5 and b is also divisible by 5. This would mean that a has a factor 5 and b also has a factor 5. But this contradicts our assumption. We have seen and assumed that a and b are co-primes and have no common factor other than 1. But this line means that they have a common factor 5. Therefore, from all this that we have did now, we can assume that we have proven that both a and b have 5 as their factors, but this is the contradiction of the assumption that a and b are co-primes. So by writing this line, you prove that root 5 is irrational. And this was the solution, and I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.